Hey everybody, Brianna here. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making some French onion soup, so I thought I'd pop on and show you how easy it is to make it. It is a Pampered Chef recipe. I have posted the link. I'll also post it in the comments, the recipe for you guys, because it's a great soup for the winter time. But it's something that my family orders often at a restaurant, so I've recreated it at home. And it's a great recipe, and I kind of changed some things. So this recipe is a Pampered Chef French onion and mushroom soup. We love mushrooms. My brother doesn't, so usually I omit the mushrooms because he doesn't like it. But it's so easy. So what I did was I've caramelized some onions. It takes about a half an hour. I used about 6 or 7 small little just like white onions. Chopped them up finely. I've added them to the pot with a little bit of butter and about a tablespoon of sugar. As well as I've added about 4 cloves of garlic that I minced with the garlic press. And then it's just been cooking down here to get that golden brown color. Once you caramelize your onions, you want to deglaze your pot, so that means adding some type of liquid to add some flavor. And so I added 1 cup of red wine. You can use any red wine. They recommend using a dry wine, especially for stews and soups. So I had just had a bottle of red. I added 1 cup, and I'll show you what it kind of looks like. So the idea of when you add the wine is you want the alcohol of the wine to be cooked out. So you want to cook it until there's no liquid left. So as you can see, the onions have turned like a purple color because of that wine, and most of that liquid has been evaporated, which is great. So that means it's been cooked down. So I have to stir quite vigorously, quite often, and then the next step would be to add about 3 tablespoons of flour. So you can use all-purpose. I'm using whole wheat flour. I'm going to add it, mix it in, and then we can add some broth. So you can use chicken broth. Definitely the go-to for French onion soup is beef broth. So it's about 8 cups, so about 2 cartons of this. Then you want to add some thyme, because that's a main flavor in French onion soup. So you can use fresh thyme, or you can just use dried thyme that you buy at the store, which I'm going to use today. And then if you want to omit salt, you can instead use you can add a pack of the onion soup mix, which I've done before. I'm actually not sure if I'm going to do it today, but this will add some good flavor too. And many of you probably know these soup mixes, the Knorr, even the No Name brand one is still really good. Amazing on if you want to make like breakfast potatoes. My aunt taught me that in the summer, and they're so good. Just fry them up in a skillet with a little bit of the French onion soup mix. You don't use the whole pack, but just a little bit. And then it's also great if you're making meatloaf or hamburgers, meatballs even. So there's lots of uses for this guy other than just making soup with it. And there's lots of great recipes on their website too, so check that out. But I also wanted to mention too, for a really good stew or soup, is to add a secret ingredient. And I add about a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons. It's rice vinegar. So it kind of adds a little bit of a kind of a sour taste to it, but it's really good. And sometimes I have a hard time finding like sherry vinegar at a store, at a grocery store. So a great substitute is just the rice vinegar, or even apple cider vinegar. And the Irish stew I make is phenomenal. So since the liquid is no longer visible, I'm going to add the flour, and we're going to stir it and cook it for about 1 minute before we add any more liquid. So I'm going to mix that all in. And I think I'm actually going to use that French onion soup mix package. So once I stir this here and incorporate this flour, I'm going to add the French onion soup mix. Since I'm adding it, I'm going to use very little or no salt at all. I'm still going to add pepper, but because this is quite full of sodium and is quite salty when you do eat it, there's no need to add any more salt to it. And then I'm just going to have this simmer on the stove this afternoon. You can have this recipe done in about 35 to 40 minutes if you want to eat it right away. but I'm just gonna have it simmer on the stove for a little bit. I am cooking it in the enamel Dutch oven, so it's 6 quarts, great size, and it's so versatile because you can cook it on the stove top and put it in the oven. So later on tonight, I have a baguette already cut up. I'm gonna toast it on a skillet, and then I'm gonna top the soup with the baguette and some mozzarella cheese or Gruyere, and I'm gonna put it under the broiler setting, and it's going to broil up, and the cheese will become bubbly and all toasty, and it's going to be delicious. I'm also making a potato pizza tonight, which potato pizza is my favorite. It's like a pierogi pizza. It has bacon on it, potato. Instead of marinara sauce, you use ranch or Caesar dressing, so I used ranch. And it just is so good. I'll show you. It's in the fridge. I prepped it this morning. So now I'm going to add a little bit of the the beef broth right to the pot. So you can use 2 full cartons, maybe even a little bit more. I have another one opened in the fridge, so I might just use it all. And then, like I said, you can totally omit that salt if you're going to use a French onion soup mix pack, because there's lots of salt in there. And I'm going to add some pepper and some dried thyme. And then I'll just have it come to a boil, and then it can just sit on the stove for the afternoon until I'm ready to put the baguette or breadcrumbs on there, or the bread loaves on there. So that just needs to come to a boil, so super easy. And I'll show you the potato pizza I made. So I used the Pampered Chef pizza dough, that's brand new. Takes 5 minutes to make, you just knead it. So I'm cooking it in the 12-inch cast iron skillet. Just put a little bit of olive oil on the bottom so it doesn't stick. So I haven't baked it yet, of course, but the dough's on the bottom, and then as I said, there's some ranch on here, some cheddar cheese, marbled cheese, red onion, bacon, and potatoes. And I pre-boiled the potatoes for about 5 minutes. They're sliced. That way they cook fast and easy. And yeah, I just needed to use up the pizza mix, so that's what I decided to whip up this morning, and we had cooked bacon the other day, so it needed to be used. So I just thought I would make a potato pierogi type pizza, top it with some green onions, and it's like one of my favorite types of pizza. If I'm at a restaurant, that's what I'll order, because it's just different than having regular pizza with marinara sauce. So but I'll be sure to post the end result of this French onion soup later. Check out the comments in a little bit, and I'll post the recipe there for you to look at. But it's really easy to make, and it's like being at a restaurant. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a great day.